things. Either they don't want to give it, or they just don't have the money. Let's ask Mr. Tapase, our old friend. Mr. Tapase is with us. Mr. Tapase, very good evening, sir.
Hi, very good evening to you.
How are you, sir? Welcome to Nation Now.
Ji?
Mahesh Tapase sahab,
Very good evening, Bajaj Saab and Amber ji.
Namaskar,
Thank you
sir.
so
Vande Mataram, sir.
Thank you.
You're looking, you're looking very elegant and very dapper in whatever it is that you're wearing. Very,
You
very
should
nice.
be wearing this more.
Very nice. Looks like you know, reminds me of one of those
Hollywood.
old Hollywood stars.
Hollywood stars,
You know,
yes.
of the 50s. Fantastic.
I think all sacrificial animals look beautiful on the
Now he's being modest.
Yes.
Now he's being modest. He knows exactly how handsome he is.
Yes.
Tapase sahab, do tell us, because just now this Mr. Hanuman Pawar of the Congress, he said that for more than a year, farmers, ever since this government has come to power, they promised compensation to farmers. And over a year, that compensation has not been paid. What's going on? Is it because the treasury is empty, or is there some procedural difficulty? What have you heard?
I think in a year's time, Mr. Eknath Shindeji, who is also the Chief Minister, is busy justifying his coup. You understand? So whatever ill that the government does, the blame will be put squarely on Mr. Shinde, and BJP will make him a scapegoat at the end of the game. This is the game plan, and hence Mr. Shinde is running left, right, and center across the length and breadth of the state of Maharashtra, basically justifying the coup. I did this because this. So after maybe first month, second month in office, it was fine, but after 2 months in office, he should have squarely focused his attention on development aspect, on welfare aspect, and on various schemes and measures as far as irrigation is concerned, as far as agrarian crisis is concerned, as far as suicides for farmers is concerned, as far as women's safety in the state of Maharashtra, also in the city of Mumbai is concerned, and so many other issues, atrocities on SCs, STs,
Yes.
criminal violence.
That's terrible. That's really grown.
All these things have taken a back seat, and
Yes.
here we have a government which is just still justifying the coup which they orchestrated.
No, just one second. We'll come back to Maharashtra immediately within a minute. I just want your reaction to tomorrow's meeting in Patna. It is being speculated that Mr. Sharad Pawar essentially will be the binding factor there too, because it is absolutely true that Nitish Kumar ji is coordinating everybody, but finally everybody depends upon the wise counsel of Sharad Pawar ji. Now, how do you see that?
Well, what you're saying is right, absolutely, Bajaj ji. Tomorrow, our leader Pawar Saab, our working president SUPRIYA, SULE, and Praful Patel ji, the three of them will be taking a flight, early morning flight, and reaching into Patna at about 10 in the morning. I understand they have a scheduled meeting at about 1:30, and they should be coming back into Mumbai by late evening. So I think the country looks upon Mr. Pawar to be a binding and unifying factor as far as the various voices of the opposition is concerned. So we have to have a collective agenda to restore normalcy, democratic principles, secularism, socialism, non-capitalism back in the country, and for which then the voice of the entire opposition has to be in one unison as far the current regime is concerned. We can't have various different voices in Karnataka, a different voice in West Bengal, something different in Rajasthan, something different in Maharashtra. So that will not do. If we want to beat the BJP, send them back on the opposition benches. You want to capture the treasury benches. That I'm sure that we all have to sing in unison.
Yes.
That song has to be a song of harmony, secularism, and welfare of the people. This is what I feel, and I think
Pradeep ji.
Tapase Saab, your inner party meeting, NCP meeting, we saw how Ajit Pawar was speaking, and the whole country saw Ajit Pawar pleading that you have to put me in the organization. I need any post in the organization. Everybody in the state and everybody in the country knows that Ajit Pawar is a fantastic performer. Whatever he does, whichever post he gets, he performs day and night. I mean, he's totally committed, passionate about it. But the very fact that he was pleading in a party meeting that he needs to be given a post, and Jayant Patil ji has worked for nearly more than 5 years, and I can build the organization, I can build, giving examples of. So it was sending kind of reactions across the political circles. See what is happening in NCP. Has Pawar Saab sidelined Ajit Pawar ji? What is going to happen? And people have been speculating that there will be a breakup, there will be this, the Ajit Pawar ji will come out if things are not. Why? What are the need? I mean, why did it come to such a stand that Ajit Pawar ji has to plead for a post, sir? Tawase sahab.
I think it's a very welcome respect that a leader of the NCP, who is currently the leader of the opposition, previously the Deputy Chief Minister of Maharashtra, previously Minister for the last 17 and a half years, wants to quit constitutional post. I mean, wants to quit the post offered to him by the legislature and work for the party. I think this is a message which Mr. Ajit Pawar has given not only to the cadre but to all those ministers who have been working in the ministry from the last 17 and a half years, where we have been in power along with the Congress and along with the Shiv Sena from the last 2.5 years. So I think this statement to Ajit Pawar by Ajit Pawar ji does not limit itself to Ajit Pawar ji, but also I think it might have a spiraling effect as far as other leaders of the party are concerned. If Ajit Pawar, a younger leader who is just around 60, is quitting office, quitting his political post and wanting to work in a political organization, the party, strengthening the grassroots level at the party, and work to make the NCP one of the topmost contender as far as the top spot in the Maharashtra government is concerned. If he is wanting to do that, I think others should follow. That is the kind of message which Ajit Pawar ji maybe have wanting to give, and I think the message is loud and clear. I think he'll be very instrumental in making other people work for the party. And Ajit Pawar is a no-nonsense person. I worked with him very closely from the last 20-25 years during my days of the Youth Congress and now as a chief spokesperson. So he minces no words. He says what he means. He delivers what he says. So it's a very welcome move by Ajit Dada. We have all been taken by surprise, but we welcome it. Supriya Sule said that whatever my brother wishes, he will be getting it, and this is the kind of jubilation within the NCP. And I think all other leaders should also follow suit and pave way for younger leaders to take up ministerial works or to take legislative responsibilities.
So, Mr. Tapase,
responsibilities within the party.
Are we therefore looking at the possible most favoured contender for the chief minister's post whenever the MVA comes to power?
I can bet on this that if at all MVA comes to power, which there is a very strong likelihood today, the NCP will be the top contender for the post. We are already number one in the upper house. We are already number one in the lower house. And after the election, I am very, very confident that we'll be anywhere between 80 to 90.
80 to 90. That's fantastic.
Tapase sahab, Dev Fadnavis ji always takes pot shots at the NCP, saying that Western Maharashtra, you're confined to Western Maharashtra. NCP is confined to Western Maharashtra, that Dev Fadnavis ji says. And you're confined to 4 districts of Western Maharashtra. And now you got a problem with KCR taking a lot of meetings in Western Maharashtra. In fact, KCR is coming and taking up some meetings in Pandharpur. That is a part of your bastion. Western Maharashtra is the NCP stronghold. So, do you find that this seems to be a big planned move and a pattern to disturb the NCP presence in Western Maharashtra? You think that NCP is doing fantastic? Sharad Pawar sahab, statewide as well as nationwide, plays a major role, and hit the NCP at their own stronghold and things will. So, how do you see KCR moving into Western Maharashtra, having meetings there, going to contest elections from here? Is it a threat to NCP, sir? Tapase sahab?
I will answer it in 2 parts. Let's first bring in the apprehensions raised by Deputy CM Devendra Fadnavis ji. If a party, as per his verdict, is confined to 4 districts, I think if we are giving him sleepless nights, then he better worry when we start growing under the leadership of Ajit Pawar ji, the rest 20 districts of Maharashtra. So a party confined to Western Maharashtra is giving trouble. So just be wary of when we start really stretching our limbs across Konkan, across Vidarbha, across Marathwada and other areas across northern Maharashtra, then I'm sure, like I said, that we will be coming and claiming the top post for the state of Maharashtra. As far as the BRS is concerned, they are poaching on the leaders of the NCP. Most of the leaders which they have taken have been ex-MLAs, ex-district presidents, ex-party workers, ex-cell workers of the NCP, and there is more to the fact that people are going and joining BRS out of love for KCRG or KTRG. It is for some other reasons which I have learned, and it's very shocking. So it doesn't matter. People.
What is the shocking reason, sir?
that we'll discuss as elections come nearer. That we'll discuss. I'll call you and tell you in private. I mean, what is the bait for people to switch? there is a, there is a good bait, good amount of bait. It is
Right.
not as big as what was done during the Coca time, but it
Yes.
is definitely.
I wonder who's the bait here. Because
What is the bait? Should be the question.
yes, because usually in a fishing expedition, which KCR is indulging in right now, or in any fishing expedition, the bait usually does not have a good ending.
Yes, but they want to fish the prime, marine
Yes,
treasure out of the NCP ocean.
yes,
They are
I
using
agree.
some bait, but that bait will not work because here we are, uh, we are emotionally inclined to our patriarch leader, and I think Mr. Pawar's statement yesterday at the NCP conclave was very touching. He has given how the state is looking forward to newer leaders, how the country has been functioning in the last 9 years, why the president, the vice president was not allowed to come to inaugurate the new parliament house. So all these things Mr. Pawar touched, and what is the implication of our foreign policy. So all these things are debated, discussed, and like I keep on talking to you on your channel, I really appreciate the wisdom that this channel has, and the anchors, both of you. You really grill your, person in all the aspects, whether it's finance or it's governance or it's law and order, whether it's agrarian crisis, whether it's foreign diplomacy, so many other issues. So I think the government has been a failure. I think Elon Musk may have said something, but the others who have also opposed, there has been letters written during the PM's US visit.
75 congressmen have written a letter.
So this also should be brought to light, and not
Yes.
only Elon Musk's interview and audience with our.
There's only one Elon Musk, and that's just about it. I mean, that's
there is 75 congressmen on the other side.
yeah, but then I think we are quite used to the manner in which the corporate media has been operating these days, which is, by the way, very sad. And here's something I wanted to pick your brains on, since you brought this up. Now, the point is, the Congress won in Karnataka. The Congress is doing a pretty good job in Rajasthan. Even in Madhya Pradesh, I believe the guarantees given by Priyanka Gandhi have been have found a lot of traction. So over here, the BJP says, hey, listen, we are not going to give freebies. We are not going to give freebies, etc., 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 and so on and so forth. Now, I need to know from you, the government, as Mr. Pawar has said on so many occasions, in fact, he said that to me in at least 3 interviews that I've done with Mr. Sharad Pawar, that the government is not a business. We don't run a government on a profit and loss account. That's not the job of a government. The government's job is to look after the people. Now, I need to know from you, if you're selling a gas cylinder at about 1150, why can't you give a subsidy and sell it at 500 or 450 or 500 the way Dr. Manmohan Singh's government was selling? Now, this is very strange that the oil companies will suffer a loss. Who are they working for? Mr. Tabase.
I want to question the current regime, which has waived off loan debts of 13.5 lakh crores.
Yes.
Of those big industrialists who splurge lavishly on their personal lifestyles. Here we are talking freebies. We are asking for freebies for that Langoti Dharak farmer who has less than about 100 square meters of his land. So we are asking freebies for those ladies who can't afford 1,000-1,100 rupees cylinder. So we are asking freebies. What is now? If you do a comparative analysis to 6 years of NPA loans being written off to the tune of 13.5 lakh crore, to the freebies offered by 10-year-old Manmohan Singh government, I think we are at much lower end compared to what has happened in the last 6-7 years.
And
So
13.5 lakh crores don't even fit into a calculator.
So that is exactly what I'm trying to say. So what is wrong in taking from a rich man's pocket and putting it in the pocket of a poor man? The poor man doesn't have anything to wear, so he does not even have a pocket. So at least clothing him, at least giving him substantial amount of food. But like Mr. Pawar said, that everything cannot be dependent on the state. The people have to work, they have to earn their livelihood. And that is why the Manrega came in. And if I remember right, the BJP was the chief opponent of the Manrega scheme. They were the chief opponent to the UDI scheme. They were the chief opponent to the direct beneficiary transfer scheme. They were chief opponent to so many other schemes which Manmohan Singh ji floated.
Including GST.
Including GST. But they came out with a totally flawed model, implemented it. Then again, they had to make changes, and now finally after 7-8 years, it is coming in line with the aspirations of the people of the country.
Tapasya Saab, you are part of the opposition. The BJP claims that the US visit is so fantastic. It is one of the greatest diplomatic events of all time in Indian democratic history. And the Congress-led opposition is trying to focus on Manipur continuously and do off the achievements of Mr. Modi where US-India relationship is concerned. Great achievements, they say. Great first times at all times. Great, work where the biggest industries from US are going to invest in India. And you are harping on Manipur. They say Amrit Kal of BJP versus Loot Kal of the Congress and the opposition. They said yours was a period of Loot Kal. There says average income हमारे time में it is doubled. Mr. Modi has doubled it from 2014 since he took over. It was around 86,000 average income. Now it is 1,72,000 every average income. He says the airports. Praful Patel ji was airports. He says pre-Modi only 74, post-Modi 148. So he says we have doubled everything. Pre-Modi, post-Modi. In fact, Gadkari, whom everybody likes, even he said 60 years of the opposition rule, of the Congress rule, and 9 years of Mr. Modi. Bemisal. Tapasya Saab, how are you going to go and tell the people if this report card of the BJP goes to every household? How are you going to challenge that?
I remember flying on an Air India aircraft between Mumbai to Delhi at a flat rate of 1,800 rupees. In those days, I was a student leader. Today,
Yes.
flying to Delhi and Bombay is 18,000 bucks.
Yes.
So this also should be credited to the Narendra Modi government. And yes, Praful Patel ji has been instrumental as far as upgrading the airport infrastructure, opening up new airspaces, giving licenses to new airlines, decentralizing the entire aviation sector. So Praful Patel ji has been instrumental about it. So there's no doubt. And you are carrying forward a legacy which was started by the UPA government. UPA 1 had a legacy, UPA 2 had a legacy. You are just continuing it. What is it that you have brought? Pulwama, the aftermath of Pulwama, the revelations made by the ex-governor, these are the things which you should be addressing. And I don't know, I'm sure as a senior journalist, you know how Eisenhower and Modi, Nehruji used to meet. So you also know that it's not that Mr. Modi is the only diplomat in the country and the only diplomat internationally to take the world ahead. So it's okay. I mean, it's okay. It's good. Every country will extend its warmest welcome to the visiting dignitary. We also do the same. And so did Mr. Jawaharlal Nehru being received at the US, Indira Gandhi ji being received. I think it was Kennedy at that time walking up right into the aircraft and receiving Mrs. Gandhi at that point of time. So all these things we have seen. So
receiving Pandit Nehru, sir.
Pandit Nehru.
Yeah, JFK Jr. went right up to the aircraft and received him at the airport, and then traveled with him in a motorcade across the streets.
So all these things are there. I mean, that should not be neglected. See, international relations, bilateral relations are very important for any country. I mean, why they are not doing the same thing with China? Why they are not talking about the same thing with Pakistan? I think Prime Minister Vajpayee ji tried to inviting Pervez Musharraf for the Agra summit. Unfortunately, it did not work, but the initiative was good, very well appreciated by the opposition, by the government, by I think every citizen of the country. We want to buy peace at least in the Southeast Asian region. Now that we are heading the G20 summit, what are we going to talk to the world? What kind of nuclear disarmament are we going to do in this part of the globe where we are now becoming a natural leader in our subcontinent? How are we going to stop the Chinese building up a military base in Ceylon and Sri Lanka and the other areas surrounding that? So all these things need to be answered. Now, can the government...
But Mr. Tabase, why do you think, I want to pick your brains on this one since you brought it up. Why does Mr. Modi refuse to speak about China? He's spoken about China for the first time in the US now, where he's accused China of blocking any action against terrorists from the United Nations. This is the first time he's spoken about it. But within India, he never speaks about China. Why?
That is the whole question. That is the whole question. Why is he not speaking about China? When in open defiance to the sovereign authority of the country over Arunachal Pradesh, China is putting Arunachal Pradesh as part of its map and even renaming it as a different state or a different district. So I mean, all these things Modi ji should be speaking about, and I think BJP should now start unfurling its flag at Arunachal Pradesh and into the areas which are now Chinese occupied Arunachal Pradesh. We have seen villages being built up. We have seen, you know, we have seen army battalions coming in there, and we have seen hand-to-hand fist fighting between the Indian Armed Forces and the Chinese.
Yes, and 15th of June was the anniversary of the death of 40 of our boys at Galwan Valley. So, and there are lots of unanswered questions with regard to that.
These are the
Yes. Now, but in terms of, since we're talking about the northeast, of course, Galwan Valley is of course in Ladakh, but in terms of Manipur has been burning for the last 50 days. What do you think is going on there? Forget about the fact that you're from the NCP or anything else, but you know how these things happen. Why do you think no action is being taken just to douse the fires? What's going on?
See, I think there is a typical narrative which has been set by the government not to douse the fire as far as religious or caste-based violence when it comes up. This is very unfortunate for a country like India. I mean, we have to see that we break the barriers of caste, we break the barriers of community, and the India and the country as a whole should unitedly stand up for as a sovereign country, as a democratic country, this secular country. But there's a divisive agenda. I think government should come out clean. I mean, what is their say as far as SC/ST and minorities are concerned? Well, so many other things are there which the government has no answers. I mean, the government leaders should come and sit with the people. Why no central leader has made a visit to the Manipur area and appealed to the people to make peace at any cost? Lives and houses are burning, livelihoods are lost, people are dying, armies taken over. So all these things absolutely give a bad name to the bird of governor doesn't seem to be flying over that state anymore.
Kamal Saab, is the opposition being targeted? Now we find the latest things, Surat, Chawan, Patkar being raided close to Uddhav Thackeray ji, and the BJP says it's a COVID scam. It is not the opposition that is being targeted. There is a scam where BMC is concerned, and probably an SIT also has been launched for various other frauds that have been committed, mismanagement of funds, where the BMC is controlled period of years. They say we are targeting corruption, we are not targeting anybody. But then you got Uddhav Thackeray ji, Sanjay Raut saying, what about the BJP, and if you have got a SIT here, why don't you have SIT in Thane, where Mr. Eknath Shinde also has a COVID scam? So you think the government is being selectively targeting only the people connected with the current opposition? How do you see the entire scenario, and where do you see? Because Uddhav ji has called for a rally on 1st July. In the BMC, and when his rally is there, the whole Mumbai is probably going to be shut down. How do you see that, Tapasya sir?
See, if it is exposing corruption and bringing the accused to the gallows, I think we should welcome it. But here's a political vendetta. There are so many people which the BJP accused in the past, and now they are holding high offices within the BJP across India, not only in the state of Maharashtra but across India. The Assam Chief Minister was there, who was an ex-congressman. Narayan Ranaji was there, who was ex-congressman, ex-Shiv Sena. I think Vijay Kumar Gavit was there, who was with us. Ganesh Naik was there, who was with us now with BJP, and so many other. So all these people have been previously accused by the BJP, and now they are sitting with the leaders of the BJP. Some of them as ministers, some of them as leaders, and I think all their allegations have been whitewashed in that whatever washing machine called Bhajapa, what the new soap factory that they have. So they seem to have dry cleaned all our leaders, and now they have become absolutely they can just go kind of scot free. They are free of all allegations, it seems. What is this? If you are targeting corruption, we will welcome you. If you are being selective in targeting opposition, then of course we are going to oppose you. What has happened to the case of Anil Deshmukh? Where is the case? Where are the 100 crores? What is the evidence that has been collected by the CBI, the Enforcement Directorate? 100 crores allegation, 1 crore coming into a public charitable trust for which is receipted, for which tax exemption has been claimed by the donor. This is what is investigation. Exactly. And whoever has made the allegation, he has been rightly been gratefully awarded back all his pensions and everything. So
right. And he's probably going to join the BJP, Mr. Parambir.
I'll not be surprised that if you would be a BJP candidate in Haryana in the ensuing elections.
That's right. Which is very strange, isn't it? I mean, very, very strange. But
So
isn't that
this is
visible to everybody?
this is what we say. It's a selective target. There was the allegation of 2G scam. There was the allegation of coal scam in the UPA government. It was Prime Minister Manmohan Singh who instituted an SIT and made the ministers resign. Of course, the entire investigation took a longer time by that time, and it's in this government's regime that the entire 2G scam was realized as a fake scam, and everybody ultimately went scot free. So
And,
it
and,
takes
and, and Mr. Vinod Rai was rewarded for his efforts.
and it takes a lot of moral integrity and guts to charge your own people who have been accused of corruption, who have been labeled as a corrupt ministry. It takes a lot of guts in your integrity to to you institute this kind of inquiry. I want to know how many BJP leaders have are facing inquiry in the current regime. So this is the question which I want to ask Devendra Fadnavis ji, Prime Minister Modi ji, and of course Home Minister Amit Shah ji. How many BJP leaders, how many BJP CMs are who have been accused by opposition parties? How many inquiries have been initiated against them? So there is no answer. When we are targeted, we are definitely going to call it selected. You show us example where you are targeting your own people. You are instituting inquiries against your own legislator, ministers, and chief ministers.
Right?
The
And
other scam, the other scam, Ashok
yes,
Chavan to resign Vilas Rao Deshmukh by calling it
over one flat.
on that one line. R.R. Patil by just calling it ऐसे बड़े शहरों में होता है. One line made him resign. How many BJP leaders have resigned by making blasphemous statement in the state of Maharashtra? We saw Geeta Jain yesterday, MLA from Bhinder, beating up a government official, slapping him right in front of the camera. So this is the guts. What is the case which is being registered against Geeta Jain for this kind of act?
You've
And
had
why?
at least two senior members of parliament, or at least two members of parliament of the BJP, saying all sorts of things about Mahatma Gandhi, and they're still there.
They are still there, and you don't find it blasphemous.
Yes.
You hear Sadavarte is putting up a picture of Nathuram Godse and giving him undue importance on a dais where all BJP leaders are coming. So this is not acceptable.
Well, sir, chalte, just one small little question before we go. So, will Ajit Dada Pawar Sahab become president of the NCP Maharashtra unit?
I don't think he's asked for president, but if he becomes president, I think the cadre will be the most happy. I think he will instill such discipline in the party. He's available for every beck and call. I remember once upon a time, a couple of years ago, that my office was targeted by the MNS people, in Thane, in my area. So he called me at 2 in the night to inquire, something कुछ ज़्यादा लगा तो नहीं, ऐसा कुछ गड़बड़ तो नहीं हुआ. So that is Ajit Dada. So I think we all love Ajit Dada, Supriya Tai, and Pawar Sahib equally. I mean, it's the
I notice you don't mention Praful Patel.
no in the family. Here we are talking about the family. Praful Patel ji, of course, is a senior leader, but you're talking about divisions in the family. So I'm keeping myself focused onto the family.
Right,
So,
wonderful. Wonderful, thank you very much. Always a pleasure talking to you, Mr. Zavase. It's a real pleasure listening to you and listening to your analysis. Really and
my
truly wonderful.
pleasure, Nambiar ji, my pleasure.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
We are learning. When you
Namaskar.
talk, we are always getting some information.
Namaskar, sir. Namaskar. Vande Mataram, sir. Thank you very
Vande
much. Well, that was nice. That was really, really nice and very, very candid and very, very